Come around onto all fours and let's start to warm up the body. So knees below your hips, hands below the shoulders. And we'll start to move through the spine into our cat-cows, rounding through the back and then dipping the tummy towards the floor. Open out the heart as you dip the tummy, and as you round the back, think about drawing your shoulder blades away from each other. Just moving as easy and as freely as you feel you can, warming up through the spine, creating mobility and space and flexibility. And then find your way to a neutral spine so you can make your way up through to your downward dog. Here you might move your hands wider or turn your fingers out. You might tread through your feet and create some movement through those legs, just to wake everything up down the back of your legs. Keep breathing and keep flowing. Start to walk your hands towards your feet or your feet towards your hands and bring yourself up to a standing position. And we'll start with some sideways flows, taking your feet nice and wide, knees and toes facing forwards. Arms out to the side, you're going to reach over and lengthen to your triangle. So externally rotate your foot, reach up towards the ceiling with one arm and place the other hand onto the leg. The top arm is going to fold down towards the bottom arm and then pull up like a bow and arrow, extending the arm up towards the ceiling. Folding over, rotate through the torso, and then gradually bringing the arm up, opening out. And then we'll do that one more time, just bringing the arm over. And then again, pulling up like a bow and arrow, extend and open out the arm. From here, we're going to reverse your position. So bringing everything up through center and reaching in the opposite direction, lengthening down the sides of the body. Take a breath. And then gradually bring yourself all the way over back to a triangle, trying to stack the ribs and the hips. Keep that top arm going to circle all the way around. On your next one, just circle the arm above the head. Start to bend that right knee and rotate your back foot around into your low lunge, keeping that back heel lifted and leg lengthened. Rotate in towards that back leg. Finding that rotation, gradually bringing yourself down, and then place the back knee down to extend that front leg, drawing your toe towards the shin. Feel free to be a little bit higher here if you feel it's too strong for the knee. Gradually move yourself forwards, and then we'll come back up to that low lunge so we can rotate the body around through to our wide forward fold, and then rebuilding and restacking your body up to a standing position, taking your time. We'll then extend through your arms, and this time externally rotating your left leg and feeling that reach over to that left side. Opening everything out, stretching the top arm, and then folding over. Pulling up like a bow and arrow, leading with the elbow to re-extend the arm. Fold that top arm over, rotate through the torso, and then pulling up through the elbow to open out into that triangle. And again, we'll go one more time, bringing the arm over, pulling up like a bow and arrow, all the way up through to that triangle position. Then go into your reverse. Take a nice deep breath, moving the body through the waist and bringing the arm up and over the head, stretching down the side of the body. Take a deep breath and then gradually finding your way back through to your triangle. From that triangle, we keep that top arm circling all the way around, finding that range of movement through the shoulder. When you get to the top, we take the arm above the head again, bend that left knee and rotate everything around into that low lunge. Rotate the torso in towards that bent knee and open out the arm, finding that rotation. Take a breath and then finding your way back down. Gently place the back leg down so you can extend that front leg into that runner stretch. Draw your toes towards the shin and find as much length as you can. Feel free to adjust this position if it feels too strong for the hamstrings or the knee. When you are ready, take one more breath. Find your way back to that low lunge position. And then gradually find your way back round to that wide forward fold. Find the stretch, soften the knees, rebuild and restack. Let's come to the top of your mat so your feet are about hip width apart. Finding a breath, reaching the arms up and then swan dive over your legs into a forward fold. Lift up to a flat back. Take a breath and then sink the weight back into the heels into your seated chair. Pushing into your heels to stretch up, cactus arms at the top, bending the elbows, open the heart. Reach up and dive forward, interlacing your thumbs, rounding through the back. Lift halfway, find the length, and then as you exhale, fold over the legs, bend the knees and step, walk or jump back to your plank position. Feel free to push over the toes down through chaturanga or simply find your way up and through to either a cobra or a sphinx position. Lifting up through to that downward dog, draw your heels towards the floor. Rise up to your toes and tiptoe up towards the top of the mat, bending the knees as and when you need to, and rebuild, restack through the spine. Starting the flow again. In your seated position with the legs extended out in front, take a breath and reach those arms over the legs. Rebuilding and restacking between each vertebrae to bring yourself back up to seated. Continuing to go behind you with the hands down and lift through the heart. If you choose to, lift through the hips into your aeroplane reverse plank. Gradually lower down, lift the heel of the hands, the palms and up onto the fingertips so you can swim the arms over and reach forwards into your forward fold. Gradually rebuild and restack, bringing yourself back up to seated. Take a breath, arms come all the way up, bending your right leg and give it a hug in towards the chest. Find the rotation and extend that right arm behind you, completing that spinal rotation. Gradually come through center, extending the legs and then switching sides. Hugging the left leg in and again finding the rotation to extend the arm back behind you. Breathing into the length, exhaling into the rotation. Coming back into the center, extend through those arms and fold forwards into that forward fold. Rebuild and restack, coming back up to seated. Coming down to lie on your back. Hug your right leg in and give it a hug and we will find a rotation. So we're going to take the left arm out to the side and with your right hand guide your right knee out to the right side. Then we find our flow, taking it across the body. So the right arm is out to the right side and the right leg is over to your left. Find your own flow here, bringing your leg back into the center and again taking the right leg out to the right side, stretching through the inner thigh and your hip. And then flowing through and across the body, pausing and holding where you need to and finding your own flow from side to side. Now let's switch sides. Hug both knees in and extend your leg along the floor. So now we have that left leg hugged in. We can take the right arm out to the right side And with your left hand, guide your left leg open to the left side. Then find your own way, find your own breath, bringing that left leg over and across to your right side, finding that opening and that rotation. Find your own flow on this side, feeling the stretch into the outer thigh, the lower back, the hips and the inner thigh. Massaging through the lower back as you rotate, taking the leg out and then across. Hug both knees in, give yourself a hug, and now let's do a full body stretch, reaching your arms and your legs away from each other, finding that nice long line through the body.